Turning the ring over in my hands, I realized that it was crafted from some strange alloy formed from broken teeth, ground down and soaked in blood.
A triad congregates at the roof of the world, Kain. A plot to twist the land, to shape the world. North is where your vengeance lies.
So Kain looks to the north, and there's this big red, like, dome of energy. So that is where we're heading now. And we hear the voice of the necromancer in our head, and he's like, oh, there's 3 people up there doing some shit. So he means like 3 members of the Circle of 9. So that's a good deal, right? 3 for 1. Let's head that way.
In my travels, I learned much about the legend of Janos Audron. Here in this quaint pastoral village of Ustenheim, that dark enemy was born. Janos preyed upon its peasants until he was finally hunted down and executed.
So this town is located near where the greatest vampire ever, apparently, used to call home. And these people were like his cattle, like he would feed upon them.
There used to be a vampire living there. Before the Saravan hunted and killed him, they say he screamed 80 days and nights before he died. He vowed vengeance, he did.
We've heard rumors of great unrest in the north.
Ooh, aren't you the handsome one?
I like how the girls are just horny.
The poor wretch was warped beyond recognition. To think it was once human. Such strange creatures that had been spawned by this dark magic. Things half insect and half mammal. Human torsos grafted onto abominations of the flesh. Sick as it was, I couldn't help but admire its creator's ingenuity.
So basically, as Kain heads north, he runs into these weird, like, half-man, half-slug, like these abominations. And he doesn't understand... Oh my god, I have to switch back to the axis. And he doesn't know exactly where they're coming from, but he has an idea that they're coming from the barrier, or the warped energy, and the three pillar people? I forget what they're called. You know, the 3 people he's hunting, basically. He's like, this has something to do with them.
If it could be said that a land descended into madness, 'twould be an accurate account of Dark Eden. A garden of horrors, seeded with thick perversion of nature's design. I knew that this Dark Eden I had trespassed upon would continue to grow until all of Nosgoth was consumed. Magic seethed and shifted. I watched the dome of energy as it expanded, absorbing and recreating, consuming life and leaving behind only a twisted parody.
So basically, as Kain keeps going forward, he sees that big magical dome is like draining the life out of the land and like corrupting the creatures. And he basically says that, you know, as, like if he leaves it alone, he knows it'll eventually cover the whole world.
I passed through the wall unharmed. It seemed the magic only preyed on things that were alive and pure. Or perhaps it simply decided that I was twisted enough.
Yeah, so now Kain is on the other side of that energy field. This is the inside where everything's really fucked up. Let's see, yeah, look at this. Everything's fucked up. It didn't affect him for some reason. Oh, there's a full moon. So there's some secrets. Actually, if I turn into a wolf, I'll be super powerful. So he passes through. He notices that it doesn't really affect him. Maybe because he's like undead. But you can see the rest of the world is somewhat affected. Alright, so let's fly over to where the where this energy field is. There it is. And you can see inside it. So supposedly this is like the castle of that vampire, just it's been taken over by the Circle of Nine. And you can see that it's creating this weird energy field. Let's see what Kain has to say about it.
A tower stood in the distance. From its apex spewed the vortex of energy that shaped the lands below.
Apparently I could just walk in. Now you saw how small that tower was? Now look how huge it is in here.
The surface of the castle belied its interior, for it was far larger inside than out. With the powers the Circle had at its disposal, it would have been simple to distort space to accommodate this strange structure.
I like how Kain actually like makes note of that. You know, like it's a tiny little tower outside, you walk in and it's humongous. He's like, oh, magic bullshit, interesting.
The sorcerer's sanctuary, his laboratory. Inside was all manner of items arcane, pickled bodies, dissected corpses, both man and beast, and metal construct that heaved arcs of energy into the air. I sensed more than one force being manipulated in this place. Strange. Rarely did a sorcerer condescend to work with others.
This is like the best spell in the whole game.
It is a spell worthy of the necromancer himself. This allows me to dissect a creature's soul from its vessel of flesh. For these poor wretches, only oblivion awaits.
So this spell, I think it's called Spirit Rack. Basically, it rips the soul from your body, and you die. Like so. Ladies. Yeah, so basically this spell is going to be my go-to for for most of the rest of the game. Oh, here's new armor too. This is called the Flesh Armor.
How convenient. This armor, wrought with the blood of noblemen, drains the blood from my enemies for me, leaving me to focus on the slaughter at hand. Ah, not one, but three. Dejul the Energist, Bane the Druid, and Anacroth the Alchemist. How considerate of them to hasten my search.
So the Scourge of the Circle has arrived.
Fear him not, Bane. He is but a whelp. His soul is ours for the taking.
Don't be ridiculous, Malik. To our aid.
Damn you, Alchemist. I had not come this far only to have my quarry escape.
Vengeance. Vengeance for my eternity of suffering.
Whelp! As if you knew what eternity was. Grovel before your true master!
Never. I'll hack you from crotch to gizzard and feed what's left to your brides.
As Vorador clashed against Malak, I gave pursuit to the fleeing wizards, the Jewel and Bane. I danced their dance. When the time came, they would dance upon my sword.
His magic is weak! He is an affront to nature itself. It is our duty to purify him.
Burn, wretched vampire! Burn!
So anyway, while Vorador deals with Malak, I have to deal with these two idiots. And the third of them, the alchemist, the guy who was responsible for this tower, he actually ran.
Hey, Victor!
So I have to deal with this dude, who's just making water. He's the druid. Just trying to do that. Make it so it's hard for me to, like, catch him without stepping into the water. Which is really annoying. I don't appreciate it. Oh my god, come here, you bastard. Is there a way? Can I freeze him? I cannot. Oh, but I can kill him. He is down. Alright, let's do it. This whammon. I actually completely forgot how to deal with her. If I remember correctly, I think you just do this, and then you get these things. And then you just use these. Seems to be working. Oh my god. And she's dead. I don't know why that worked, but it did. All right, let's get this guy's
The antler
helmet.
headdress had broken in the fight, but power still resided in its ivory form.
Let's get this woman's cloak.
The cloak was made from an alloy akin to lead, heavy and malleable, woven into fine links. The energy she controlled was stored in this garment.
Okay. And then we go back inside, and Malak is fucking dead.
I found Malak's helmet amongst the scattered remnants of his armor, whole and intact. Vorador had finally laid his old adversary to rest. The antler headdress had sustained some damage during battle. Dark cracks sullied the ivory bone. The cloak of de Joul is fashioned from a strange substance, dense yet pliant. It served to both gather and shield the sorceress from the forces of energy she commanded. Malak's helmet crowned with a plume of braided hair, torn from the scalps of his victims.
I find it impressive that Vorador was basically able to kill a specter. But he did a good job. Just messed him up. So we take that shit and we leave. So now that Kain has 3 members of the Circle of 9 dead, he returns to the pillars to heal them. So the alchemist got away, but he did come away with 3 trophies nonetheless. So good. That gets us to the end of the game quicker.
The helmet of Malak I placed before the Pillar of Conflict. The pillar accepted its offering. Thus, it was restored. The act had taken on the feel of ritual. Isn't it strange how we must bribe our gods to stay? At the foot of the energy pillar, I set the cloak of Dejul. The pillar accepted its offering. Thus, it was restored. The antler headdress of the druid bane I lay before the nature pillar. The pillar accepted its offering. Thus, it was restored.
You must seek Azimuth the Planer at the heart of Avernus. 3 instruments await you to aid you in your quest. But first, you must rise, and you must fall, and find your salvation in between.
Okay, so we restore 3 of the pillars, and then Ariel sends us to Avernus Cathedral, where we will find our next goal, apparently. I don't remember how to get to Avernus.
Avernus consumed itself before my eyes.
Alright, so that's Avernus Cathedral. It is burning. Some shit is going down. So you can see when we fly to Avernus Cathedral, like the sky is red. Like things are transpiring here in the world as the game goes on. And this is like one of the ways that it shows you. Fountains full of blood. That building exploded. Stuff is not going great. Whoa.
Oh, woe is us! The dark is upon us! The gate of Avernus opened slowly before me, daring me to cross the threshold. Who was I to reject such an invitation?
So this is Avernus. This is one of like the bigger cities in this world. I am disguised as a man because I don't want to fight all these people at this moment. And I have to make my way to the cathedral, which, as we will see, as you get closer and closer, things get weirder and weirder.
The city was paved in blood and flesh. Yet what would have appalled me in life only tempted me in death. Once I would have felt horror. Now, only hunger remained.
So Kain starts heading into the city more, and he notices there's like bodies, guards, piles of bodies, but also people are kind of walking around like normal. So some shit is weird.
Avernus lay in ruins before me. Whatever hand slaughtered its people ravaged the city as well.
So you'll notice these are demons.
The beast paused for a moment, drooling in anticipation of the fine meal he saw before him. To his disappointment, he would not find me such easy prey.
Yeah, so apparently this city is under attack by demons. And some people seem to be like okay with it, like these guards. So here's a big guy. So the demons that I'm fighting here are actually super important, but they won't really be explained until much later.
I felt its eyes upon me, eager, hungry, as if it longed to rip my heart out and eat it before me as I died. I laughed as the onslaught began. Perhaps when it was over, it would be the other way around.
Right in ye old cathedral. Alright, let's see what Kain has to say about this place.
Avernus was a religious
Avernus.
autocracy, with the cathedral at its dais of power. Though the city lay in ruins, the cathedral remained untouched. The demons knew better than to bite the hand that feeds them.
Alright, so the cathedral is actually like a front. It's not like a religious... I mean, it's a religion, but the religion is dealing with demonic entities, not angelic ones. And it seems like this religion or this sect is possibly sacrificing and feeding the demons power, at least, somehow. We're gonna find out how. And we're gonna find out why. Did he knock me out of the teleport? Oh god. Fuck off! Okay, I'm pretty sure this is where we want to be. This is like the lower levels of the church. And as you can see, it doesn't look very holy. Let's light up this jam. Oh look, blood! Interesting. Certainly a lot of vampire hearts and blood in this church. In the lower levels. Something we'll have to remember for much later. Also a lot of skulls and bones. Although I guess for a church this is actually kind of normal. If the church has a mausoleum or a crypt.
And Hashak Gik spoke unto the world, and all who heard trembled. Bring me your firstborn, and shed their blood upon the altar of the world, so that I may take nourishment from them. Do this without question, or suffer my wrath for eternity. And its will was done.
Hashak Gik. So there's some kind of creature, demon, something or other, god, that is having, or that these people in this town are sacrificing their firstborn to. Okay. Seems like an awesome religion. Oh, you can see in the floor there's like a little picture of a demon. Okay. This is an important item. Notice that it's located at this church that is worshiping demons. And let's find it and then we'll talk more about it. Oh my god, fuck these teleporters. Lights. These are both red. This one is different. Which one's...
2 hours later.
Okay, this one's white. Okay. Whoever decided this would be what this place is. They can go to hell. Okay. So, in the church we have an angelic figure, or an angelic statue, and in its arms is this weapon.
The Soul Reaver.
It's got kind of a dark skull handle. Or what would you call that? Guard. And then the blade is like this black wavy blade.
Time fades even legend, and the origin of Soul Reaver has been lost long ago. But its purpose remains, to feed on the souls of any creature it strikes. Kindred, this blade and I.
So this is the Soul Reaver, and this is the most powerful weapon in the game, but it comes with a catch. You'll notice this is the only weapon that Kain holds with two hands, like he holds it two-handed, and it has this awesome sound effect. It sounds like a scream when you swing it. Also, you notice it has like that kind of that light. Really cool. It's a cool weapon. The drawbacks are you can't use magic, and when you kill an enemy, depending on how magical they are, it will drain your magic, which is no bueno. No bueno at all. But you can kill mostly everything, and you can take huge chunks out of bosses' health with the Soul Reaver. So let's try it on this guy. Boom! Explode! Goodbye. Pardon me. These guys aren't very magical enemies. You see, it's not draining my magic very much. Unfortunately, here's the weakness of the Soul Reaver. I can't push these buttons. I have to switch out, which is unacceptable because this takes forever. So I've made the very, very long, arduous journey to the bottom of the depths of the church here. So I'm going to enter here, and we're going to see if it looks familiar. Yeah, look at this. I don't know if you remember this, but from the opening cinematic, or the cinematic with Malik, this is his body, apparently. Where they ripped his soul out and melded it with his armor, and over here is the Wraith armor.
This armor was spawned in the most impure of spirit forges, tempered from the seething agony of tortured souls. The metal exists only partially in the human realm, causing it to fade between tangible and ethereal states.
That is the Wraith armor. That armor gives you the most defense, but what it does is it splits the damage between your health and your magic. So every time you take damage, you'll take magic damage as well as health damage. You'll take less of both, but still, I don't want to give up my magic. Because then I can't do things like that. Alright, so now we're done with this place. Hey guys. Hey. Cut it out. So let's enter into the main part of the cathedral. There. See what's going on here. Oh, there's a depiction of Malik and Vorador. Interesting.
Above me stood a memory, etched in stained glass.
Ah, what's this? I had not even realized the blade and the raiment were here. You wear those trinkets well, Kain, but I do believe that they would look better on me.
The matriarch of Avernus, the Lady Azimuth. Her magical planing skills summon demons through runes inscribed in human blood.
So let's try out the blade on Lady
Come to
Azimuth.
me, my children. We shall ravage Nosgoth together. So, little man, have they sent you to stop me? My children shall rip you apart. Come, my demons. Let us sup on vampire blood.
Boom! Dead! One shot!
The Lady Azimuth
Boom!
was little trouble. Once her demonic thralls had been dispatched, she fell quickly to my blade. Azimuth's third eye, a gift from the Pillar of Dimensions, allowed the planar sight into other realms. The pillar reclaims its own. Azimuth's third eye was a gift from the Pillar of Dimension and allowed her vision into other planes.
Alright, so now that we've defeated Azimuth, we go into the back of the cathedral and we find this item.
It will deliver you in time.
Time streaming device. Strange runes litter its metallic surface. 'Tis with caution that I carry this mysterious device.
So apparently Azimuth wasn't... Azimuth? I don't know, I forget what her name is. She might not have just been pulling creatures from other dimensions, she might have been pulling them from other times. Which is important for much, much later in the story. Let's save my game here, or am I going to? Because I'm a big dick vampire. I don't care. Here's a little flight point, which I don't even know if this connects to anything. Yeah, it does. Okay. So let's go back to the pillars and return the third eye and restore that pillar. The pillar of dimension, I guess it would be. Flippy, flippy, flap, flap, flippy, flippy, flap, flap. I'm a freaking bat, yeah.
Before the Dimension Pillar, I lay the Eye of Azimuth. The pillar accepted its offering. Thus, it was restored.
Well done. You have found Mobius's toy. Azimuth, not content with summoning demonic thrall, stole the time-streaming device in order to gather creatures from other ages as well. Take care of the device, Kain. It will deliver you in time. The legions of the Nemesis are on the march from the north, crushing all in their path. 'Twas not too long ago that the Nemesis was known as William the Just, a caring and gentle benefactor of the land. But as his army grew in strength, and he himself grew in power, the veil of tyranny fell, and one kingdom was not enough. So many cities, so many dead. Willendorf will be sure to follow. The Nemesis must be stopped, or all shall be lost.
How can one stop an army?
You must rally the forces of Willendorf. They are the last hope of Nosgoth.
Okay. So our next problem that we're going to have to solve is that there's an army in the north heading south, conquering as they go, that was once commanded by this guy named William the Just. He's like a King Arthur kind of figure. Really, really like good justicey. I don't know how to describe. A good guy, a good leader. When he gained enough power, though, he got greedy and decided, I'll just have the whole world. And he started sending his army south. And now he is known as the Nemesis. So we're going to try to stop him. The only way we could stop him, or the only army big enough to stop his army would be the army of Willendorf, which is another, big town in this city. So we're kind of taking a sidetrack to our saving the pillars thing because we have a bigger problem. It doesn't matter if we save the pillars if everybody's dead, so we're going to try to fix this encroaching army issue. So I have to fly my ass to Willendorf.
The spectre of Ariel led me to Willendorf. If I was to defeat the next member of the Circle, I needed to understand his machinations. With this vague advice in mind, I set forth on the road to Willendorf.
Okay, so apparently William the Just is one of the members of the Circle. I don't remember that at all. Don't remember that at all. But whatever. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if the Nemesis or William the Just is the person in question here. Also, notice the soldiers are just making mincemeat out of people.
What has become of the Lion of Willendorf? Who will protect us from the Nemesis? The king's heart pines for his daughter. Someone stole her soul, you know.
Okay, so getting close to Willendorf. These are the Willendorf guards. These kind of white armored guys.
I've heard that an army from the north is preparing to invade. Is it true?
So these townsfolk are basically saying that something's wrong with the king. Something has happened to his daughter, and he basically is not comatose, but he's just kind of depressed and not paying attention to anything, not paying attention to the invading army.
Strange, isn't it, Kain? That one cannot quite accept that which sustains him. You in your death, and me in mine. But death cannot reign in a world without life. And soon you will find the quest ahead of you is yours and yours alone. I can assist you no longer.
That is the Necromancer speaking to Kain. And then from here I can see Willendorf.
Willendorf, proud defender of the realm with its warrior elite and mighty ruler, King Otmar. The Lion's throne had once held my allegiance, but Willendorf's days of glory had passed. It was the last bastion against an unruly future.
So, Kain basically tells us here that he used to belong to the army here. He was one of the knights of Willendorf. And if you notice, like, if you go back and look at the first episode, the armor that Kain wears is very similar to these.
With this spell, I can tear a creature's soul from its body, leaving its vacant flesh mine to control. Mighty Willendorf had sliced open the belly of the earth, reaping a bounty of precious metals and unearthing ancient secrets. Of these secrets, I had heard of a tomb that contained an ancient forefather of King Otmar himself. Within the tomb, a fountain of blood would allow me to cast the most noble of illusions and gain entry to the city of the mighty lion.
You heard that? Interesting. I heard that this city had delved deep into some ancient secrets, and one of those ancient secrets is a fountain of blood. That if I drink from that fountain of blood, I will be able to cast an illusion that will make me look noble, and I'll be accepted into the king's court. I heard that. Weird. Get out of the way. Excuse me, sir. Pardon.
The blood of ages flows so sweet. Come, drink from us.
Oh boy.
Unlike the Mask of Disguise, this spell actually allows me to cast away the guise of death for a time, allowing me to walk among the living undisturbed. The spell also provides a visage of nobility, for there are many who would easily divulge more to those of high-born blood.
So basically, what this upgrade does is it takes my human disguise, and first of all, I still hold on. Let's deal with this minor man. Okay, so so now I, to everybody else, look like a noble, you know, like a nobleman. But I could still attack and cast my spells and stuff like that. Although if I do anything like that, the disguise will be broken. So I think what they're getting at is this makes Kain look like his old highborn human self. So basically, this disguise is good because people will be more willing to divulge more to somebody who's fancy. Right? Pretty people rule the world. Pretty or rich. So now Kain looks pretty and rich. This is the city of Willendorf, and we're arriving at the castle right now.
The great library of Willendorf, filled with dull tomes of trite accounts by pompous historians about matters that couldn't possibly be of interest to anyone but themselves. The book spoke of the birth of the Circle. The Circle served the Pillars, protectorates to the strange power that gives life to our land. At the unlikely death of a member, the Circle remains broken for a time until the Pillars can cull a worthy successor. I came upon another book of interest, buried deep amongst the library tomes. It spoke of a small cult that existed in Nosgoth ages past. Wherever they traveled, strange tales of human possession would follow. Little is known of the god they worshipped. There's an evil in the air. I can feel it.
Can you feel this? Ba-boom! I melted your friends. This guy's okay. How you doing, buddy?
We've heard rumors of great unrest in the north.
Oh, there's gonna be great unrest in your pants. See you later. This is just a cool little thing about the storytelling in this game. So if you go here, Happy Cleaver. This is a butcher shop, right? So you go in. Everything's normal, right? There's a customer, and then there's this guy.
What has become of the Lion of Willendorf? Who will protect us from the nemesis?
He's complaining about the king. You see this little blood, because it's a butcher shop, right? Makes sense. But then you go in the back, and there's people. The meat here is people. That's no good. Works for me, though, because I'm a vampire. Sir, what you're doing is despicable. Here, I'll explode you. See you later.
The court of King Otmar, shades of my former existence, proud and self-absorbed, surrounded by all the finery of the realm, secure in their ignorance. As I walked among them, I smirked, thinking of the carnage that would befall them at the hands of the legions of the Nemesis, the glorious flames, and the inevitable rape and pillage. Out of my way, peasant! The stench of the fields hangs over you like a pall.
The king sees no one. He is in mourning for the princess.
He'll be in mourning for his kingdom soon, and he'll mourn for you even sooner if you don't get out of my way! Ooh. And so I won my audience, such as it was, with Otmar. He cared not for the invading armies from the north, only of the plight of his child.
A birthday present. To celebrate her birthday, I declared a contest. Whoever created the finest doll in the realm would be granted a royal favor. Hundreds of dolls were brought, but the winner was obvious. Elzevir, the doll maker, created a toy of such beauty that all were captivated by it. And all he would take in payment was a lock of her hair. Soon after, she became like this, a lifeless puppet. Whoever restores her to her former self shall have this kingdom.
Thus, my hunt for the doll maker began.
Okay. So basically, the king had a contest to see who could make the best doll for his daughter, and this weird, creepy little elf dude.
My daughter. I fear I shall never hear her delicate laugh again. Oh.
Right. Decided this weird, creepy little elf dude made the best doll, and then a few days later, after he won, and the king gave the doll to his daughter, his daughter became comatose, basically. So obviously, you don't take winning dolls from creepy little elf dudes. Is the moral of this story. So basically, he says if you restore the kid back to, or the princess, whatever. I'm not sure if she's a kid. She looks like she's quite tall. She looks like she's taller than Kain. So if you could restore his daughter back to her former self, or anyone who does that will get anything they want will be theirs. So Kain, because he's such a good guy, decides to go on this quest.
Otmar slumped on his throne like a rag doll, his beard matted with tears of his own self-pity. In my court, he would have long since been usurped by one stronger, but in Willendorf they worshipped him, even in his weakness. I wondered what Willendorf would do when Otmar's death finally arrived.
Kain is always so empathetic.
Through whispers of the court, I learned that the army of the Last Hope, Willendorf's proud militia, was in no condition to fight the invading legions of the Nemesis. They were busy scouring the lands to the north in search of the dollmaker and Otmar's daughter. I also learned of a tunnel, which would take me rapidly from Willendorf to the suspected area.
I bet the tunnel is this way, which is the way I haven't been. Alright, so we're up far to the north now because we took that tunnel that magically brought us here, and we're running into these guys clad in red. These are people, and these are actually, they're just wearing scary armor. And these are actually the legions of the Nemesis. These are the guys that are going to cause us, that are going to head south and cause us all that trouble.
This was once the most academic of cities, housing some of the most prestigious universities in all of Nosgoth. While I would not weep over lost tomes, I detested the sight of scars left upon the world at the hands of the Nemesis.
So much for all these scholars. They've apparently been strung up and mutilated. So the Nemesis is not a good, not exactly a fun conquering army. Here we see the Nemesis army has impaled people. Excuse me, guys. Do you not see that I am one of the nobility? Please ignore that your friends exploded. How do I get past here? It's a little hard to see, but these enemies here are actually like living doll creatures. They're super susceptible to fire. Now unless you burn them, they're kind of invincible. So we're probably getting close to this doll maker jackass. And look, there's a little, quite a little cottage over here.
Elzevir, I have come for the soul.
So, Otmar sent you to kill me, eh? I can smell him on you. Or is that the stench of the grave?
Dollmaker, I have no time for these games.
The soul is mine! I earned it! Otmar gave it to me!
Then you shall earn it with blood.
You shall not have it! Mine! 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 Farewell, my love. I was lucky to meet you.
What an odd little man. Now, to find the soul. Elzevir imprisoned the girl's soul in a small fabric doll. The old man's intentions I shall never know.